Miss Cece, thank you for waiting patiently, Miss Cece. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. So, did you get an opportunity to hear the audio?
I did. Is that like Suki or somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Suki. Okay.
Okay.
I'm
So,
gonna play devil's advocate here because Sergi, oh my gosh, she's so respectful. I like her and I don't even know her. like
I
but
don't. I don't. I
Thank
mean. I
you.
mean, you can
but
play devil's advocate, but I really want you to answer the questions how you
oh
truthfully
oh
feel.
I am. Oh, trust me, I am.
Okay.
Because I feel like it depends on the situation for me as far as in if they
Let's get
should.
into it. Let's get into it. We'll talk about it. Is it a man's responsibility to make it explicitly known that he wants sexual favors from a woman before he flies her out?
I say yes. I say he needs to, if he's spending his money, if you finna come out of pocket, I feel like you not coming out of pocket for nothing else without being secure of what you're buying, if I'm just being honest. Like you not finna go somewhere else and purchase a car without knowing everything about it. So I feel like put it out there what you want from her. Let her know what it is. This is what's up. This is what I'm expecting, and give her that choice. I feel like it should be said. It should be said. And if she decides to go and be on whatever, you need to have your money behind it. Because if he chooses not to send you back, then that's on you.
All right.
That that's my honesty. That's how I feel. Because for me, I'm not going for one, but I'm not finna go nowhere where I can't support myself. Like if I can't fly myself there, if I can't fly myself back, if I can't get myself a hotel or Uber or a rental car, or whatever, I'm not going. But I just feel like he needs to say that. It needs to be upfront of what it is that he's expecting.
Okay. Um, are women that let a man fly them out knowing they don't want to have sex with him or knowing that it's that time of the month for them acting in good faith?
Mm, I would say no to that. I would say, as far as the time of the month, I would tell him. I would say, hey, you want me to come, but this is what I got going on. Because they could possibly have it in their mind that they want to be with the guy in that way. I feel like it depends on the situation. If y'all been talking for 8, 9 months and y'all FaceTiming and y'all getting to know each other, and now he wants to meet you in person, I don't feel that that's necessarily sex up front. I think they're getting to know each other. But I feel like if you talking to this dude for like 2 weeks and y'all know what y'all conversation is about, and then you flying out, you ain't acting in good faith at that point because you know what it's about.
Okay. Um, do you think a woman should put herself in private settings with a man that she doesn't want to be intimate with?
Um, yeah,
And because you said yes.
I would say yeah because I feel like it depends on the situation because I've been in situations with a man that I knew that I didn't want to be intimate with, but we chopped it up. We didn't really, it wasn't about sex, but I feel like you can read the situation. You can read the
But what is being,
situation. Go ahead.
what does being what do you mean when you say I've been in situations with men that I wasn't really physically attracted to? What does situations mean? Because
Well,
what
okay.
I'm saying is
Hmm.
when I'm
Hmm.
talking about being in a when I'm talking about being in a private setting, again. So if I'm flying you out and I'm telling you, I'm making it very clear and I'm being specific and I'm telling you that when I fly you out, you are going to be staying with me. I just think in 2022 that
See,
it's
no, that's.
realistic. First of all, you don't know where I stay. First of all,
Hmm.
you don't know what my living arrangement is. But I think it's kind of unrealistic for a woman to assume that a man that's flying her out and is, telling her that I'm going to take care of everything for you while you're here. I think it's kind of unrealistic for a woman to think that a man is going to have her in a guest room and while he's in his own room sleeping by himself. I think that's kind of unrealistic. So
I
if
think.
so if a woman first of all, why is a woman flying out to? Why is a woman letting a man that she doesn't find physically attractive fly her out in the first place?
Okay, so I think that that whole stand at the house thing is a no. Like that's just my opinion. I would say no to that. Like, nah, I can get my room if I'm coming out. It, like I said, it depends on the situation. If we've been talking for a while and I'm getting to know you, you getting to know me, I'm gonna tell you up front. Now I'm gonna get my own room. We can meet up. We can get to know each other, whatever. But knowing like I said, 2 weeks and y'all just getting to know each other and y'all know what y'all conversation holds, and you go to his house, you get at me and what it is. Like that's just how I feel. Like, don't play with it because you know what it is at that point. You know what you in for at that point. So I feel like it just depends on how y'all conversation went before he bought that ticket.
Okay. Um, do you think that this is a culture that like women should participate in the first place? Just just getting flown out by men that they don't really know for real, men that they've only probably had a few conversations with, men that clearly aren't trying to like really be in a relationship with them. Do you think women should just be hopping up on planes and going to just see men and subjecting themselves to whatever the man, wants them to like do while she's with them?
I don't. I think that if you, like somebody just said in the comments, like women get flued out after 2 days of DMs. Like
Yeah.
no, no, like if that's what
So
that is, then you know what it is. I feel like for a man, he is not wrong. This is what I think. I think they look at the men and say, "Oh, you wrong because you expect her to do this, and she has the right to change her mind." She does, but he also has the right not to do nothing for you after you say no. Like that's just my opinion. He has the right to be like, "I bet, like I'm done." Anything else at this point that comes for you, it's gonna come out of your pocket. He has that right to do that as well. So I feel like you put yourself in that situation where you're not willing to give up the draws. Be ready to pay for your own stuff behind that, if that's what it is that he's expecting. So I don't feel that a man should be bashed for choosing after she refuses to be like, you know what, I'm straight.
Right, right. Because like again, at the end of the day, like no means no, right? So there's no coercion going on. There's nobody's gonna be forcing themselves onto the other person and going against their will. Um, but like when I hear women say that it is a man's duty to like specify what it is that he wants before they fly this woman out, those same women never say that it's also he also needs to specify that I'm gonna pay for your flight, I'm gonna pay for your lodging while you're out here, transportation, I'm gonna take care of that, food, I'm gonna take care of that, activities, I'm gonna take care of that, nightlife, I'm gonna take care of that. I never hear any of the women say that a man also needs to specify those things. But then when a woman does get flown out and she doesn't want to engage in those things, when the man brings her back to the airport, then he's crucified, right? So
Yeah.
he didn't force himself onto her. He didn't force himself onto her. No coercion happened. He took her back to the airport. If he did have a flight back, he canceled the flight. So if you ask me, he did a very civil duty. He's a gentleman. He should be applauded. But instead, that a man that does that gets crucified. And it's not like there's no talk about, oh, why would you get on a flight with a go see a man that you're not physically attracted to or that you don't want to sleep with? All of the conversation is how the man did the woman. So I
It
find that to be
definitely
very
is.
interesting.
It definitely is. And I don't think that that's fair because I feel like she should take accountability for her own actions. Like if you getting flew out by a man that you don't know at all, like somebody said, 2 days. 2 days and you expecting all of this to be done, and what are you giving him in return other than you sitting in his face? Like, if we just being real, that's where that's at. Like I said, it does make a difference on the time frame that they have been knowing each other. That makes the difference to me. How y'all communicate, how y'all talk, what y'all conversations be about. If he talking like, oh, I can't wait to see you, send me nude pictures and all of this stuff, you know what this man is expecting. So don't play stupid when you get there and he asks you for what it was that you knew that he wanted. And when you say no, don't be mad when he say, I bet everything on you.
But Cece, I also you're right about that, but I also don't think the man. I don't think I don't think our text messages and our FaceTimes. I don't think they need to be like, explicit and provocative in nature for a woman to assume that a man that's flying. I don't care how long we've been
Right.
talking. I think
Mm-hmm.
actually. I think the more we've been talking and the more the more we've been building a relationship, I think I'm not a woman, but I think the woman should more so assume that when she shows up that he's gonna want to do it even more because we've really built this connection now.
And that could possibly be true. That could possibly be true. I don't know how men think that could be true, but I feel like for a woman, for us coming, or for myself, I can't speak for all women, but I'll speak for myself. Coming into this, I am knowing you right here for the first time. So now I'm getting a vibe, because I feel like the vibe that I get over the phone and over FaceTime is different than us being in person. So now I'm meeting you. Now I'm getting a feel of you. Now I am, connecting with you. And it could be different in person than what it is over the
Right,
phone.
right.
So I think that all of that does play a difference in it. But I feel like if in situations like this, if we're going to crucify the man, the woman needs to be crucified too, because why are you doing this to yourself? Like,
So,
we can't
yeah,
just
I
blame
agree
one
with you.
side.
Yeah, I agree with you. So what do you think is the if a man did want to see a woman, and whether they've talked have three whether they've communicated 3 times over a month, or whether they've been communicating weekly over 6 months. What do you think, as a woman, would be a safe and appropriate way to go see that man in his location, if she really wanted to go see him and meet him in person?
I think, like I said, I can only speak for myself.
Yeah.
For one, I'm not going, I'm not going to see nobody over no 3 days, but I think that everything needs to come from her. Like, even if he says I'll pay for your flight there, she needs to make sure that she has enough finances to get a room, because, like, and do it at decent times. Okay, I'm a fly there. We can meet up for lunch. We can meet up for dinner. Don't do it alone. Have somebody with you. And a lot of people travel alone. I get that, but it just needs to be decent and in order. Like, it doesn't make sense where you going somewhere with somebody else and everything is on them, and then you expect them to get nothing. Like, to me, that just makes no sense. But that's just me. I can only speak for myself. But I just feel like they just need to be well rounded with themselves. So if this other person back off, they still straight in their situation.
Hey, I agree with you. I don't disagree with anything you said. Is there any last words you want to say on this topic, Miss Cece, before I move on to case and bring another person up?
Not at all. Thank you for communicating this, though. I like to hear this. I
Thank
like
you.
it
I
because I feel
appreciate you.
like
You have
it
a good
does
day,
shine.
okay?
It shines a light on for the men. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you, all right?
Yep. Bye bye.